Taiwan is a powerhouse in the global technology landscape. Producing 60% of the world's semiconductors and 90% of the most advanced chips, its role in modern electronics cannot be overstated. From smartphones to electric cars, almost every major technological advancement relies on Taiwanese chips. But what happens when the global supply chain faces a crisis, or when geopolitical tensions threaten to disrupt these vital flows? For the European Union, this question is not hypothetical. It's a matter of economic security. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed the fragility of supply chains, and now, with growing tensions with China, the EU is seeking to reduce its dependency on unreliable sources. The solution? Strengthen ties with Taiwan. Taiwan's democratic values and its strategic importance as a semiconductor giant make it a perfect partner for the EU. And this partnership is poised to go beyond just trade in semiconductors. It could transform the way Europe and Taiwan collaborate in both supply chains and capital markets, with far-reaching implications for both regions and the world. Taipei has been vocal about seeking an economic partnership with the EU. This could culminate in a resilient supply chain agreement, RSCA, which would diversify Europe's semiconductor supply while fortifying Taiwan's position as a critical supplier. But this partnership is more than just about securing chips. It represents a geopolitical realignment, one in which Taiwan's democratic values and Taiwan's industrial capabilities intersect with Europe's need for economic autonomy in the face of China's growing assertiveness. But let's break it down. Taiwan's role in the semiconductor industry cannot be overstated. The island nation is home to the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC, the world's largest semiconductor manufacturer. Without TSMC's innovations, Europe and the rest of the world would face crippling shortages in tech, automotive, and industrial sectors. The EU sees Taiwan as a natural ally, especially considering that Taiwan produces 90% of the world's advanced chips, which are used in everything from artificial intelligence systems to 5G networks. A partnership between the EU and Taiwan not only secures this critical supply, but also gives the EU an opportunity to assert its economic independence from China, a country it has labeled an economic competitor and a systemic rival. The relationship between the EU and China is far from perfect. While China is a vital economic partner, especially as the EU's second-largest trading partner for goods, the relationship has been marked by systemic imbalances. China's state capitalist model leads to unfair market practices, where government support and subsidies tilt the playing field. These issues are exacerbated by China's heavy-handed approach to international relations. For instance, China has used economic coercion against countries like Lithuania for its support of Taiwan, illustrating how Beijing uses its economic leverage to suppress democratic values. This dynamic leaves Europe at a crossroads. The EU cannot afford to be overly dependent on a country that not only distorts markets but is also unwilling to play by the same rules. A Taiwan-EU partnership offers an alternative, a more ethical, transparent, and balanced trading relationship built on shared values such as democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. Taiwan's democratic nature makes it the perfect counterbalance to China's authoritarian model. The EU's pursuit of strategic autonomy, its ability to independently shape its economic future, is at the heart of the proposed Taiwan partnership. In this context, the Resilient Supply Chain Agreement, RSCA, would be a game-changer. By strengthening the EU's access to critical technology, it would reduce Europe's dependence on China, while also ensuring that Taiwan can expand its global market presence. This agreement could also include the creation of a Capital Markets Link, CML, a significant addition to the RSCA. Connecting Taiwan Stock Exchange, TWSE, with major European exchanges in Frankfurt, Paris, and Amsterdam would open up new investment opportunities, boost liquidity, and create a smoother flow of capital between Taiwan and Europe. For Taiwan, this linkage means better access to European capital markets, which can fuel the growth of Taiwanese industries, especially in technology and advanced manufacturing. European institutional investors, traditionally conservative in their investments, would gain exposure to Taiwan's dynamic industries. As a result, Taiwanese companies could secure more diversified funding sources to fuel innovation and expansion. For Europe, the benefits are equally substantial. The EU would gain direct access to Taiwan's world-leading semiconductor sector, boosting Europe's tech capabilities. Moreover, the EU could diversify its investment portfolios, adding new opportunities in Taiwan's booming industries. This creates a win-win scenario where both regions benefit from a more integrated financial and supply chain ecosystem. However, it's not all smooth sailing. A key challenge to the EU-Taiwan partnership is the possibility of Chinese opposition. Beijing has demonstrated its willingness to use economic coercion to deter countries from engaging with Taiwan. This was evident in the case of Lithuania, where China imposed trade restrictions in response to Lithuania's support for Taiwan. The EU must be prepared for potential backlash from China, which could target European companies or even threaten economic retaliation against nations involved in deepening ties with Taiwan. To counter this, the EU should focus on collective resilience. It's essential for like-minded partners, including Japan, India, and ASEAN countries, to work together and support each other in the face of Chinese coercion. By diversifying their supply chains, increasing investments in each other's markets, and strengthening international trade laws, these nations can create a counterweight to China's growing economic power. A coordinated approach will not only protect Taiwan's international space but also bolster global stability. The EU-Taiwan partnership represents more than just an economic deal. It's a geopolitical shift that could reshape the international order. By fortifying supply chains and capital markets, Taiwan and Europe are not only securing their own futures, but also sending a message that democratic values will continue to drive international collaboration, regardless of China's attempts to undermine it. The EU-Taiwan Resilient Supply Chain Agreement, RSCA, paired with the Capital Markets Link, CML, is a comprehensive strategy that can transform the global economic landscape. The ripple effects will be felt across Asia, especially in countries like Japan and India, who would benefit from more secure and diversified supply chains. ASEAN nations will see increased investments, while the Quad, a strategic grouping of the US, Japan, India, and Australia, will have a stronger foothold in the Indo-Pacific region, promoting a free and open rules-based order. The EU-Taiwan partnership offers a bold vision for the future, one in which supply chains are more resilient, capital markets are more integrated, and democratic values continue to thrive in a world dominated by competition. But will it succeed? What challenges lie ahead? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth analysis.